Hello guys, you are welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the first time you have viewed my channel. You are welcome back. So what I want you to do right now is to hit the subscription button. That's the first thing you need to do, because I can guarantee you that you're going to be learning a lot from this channel. Okay, and also an invite to join our stock market masterclass, where I'll be showing you how to be profitable from the Nigerian and US stock. I'll be getting a lot of messages from people, people asking me what are ETFs. I want to invest into ETF, but I don't know what it is all about. So today I'm going to be teaching you step by step on how to invest in ETF. I'm also going to be explaining them to you, or how you can be profitable from it. So as a Nigerian in diaspora, or as a Nigerian living in Nigeria, you need to watch this video from the beginning to the end, because I'm going to be sharing with you 4 ETFs that pay dividends every month, not just quarterly dividends, not just yearly dividends. In Nigerian stock market, there are stocks that pay 2 times in a year or once in a year. There are some stocks that are not even paying dividends. So these ETFs are US ETFs, and they pay every month, every single month. So before I continue, what is ETF? In a simple term, ETF is exchange traded funds. So what is it all about? You can decide to buy an individual stock, right? So maybe like Apple or UBA shares or Zenith Bank shares, any stock. But ETF works like a basket of many stocks, right? Baskets of many investments. It has to do with real estate, has to do with bonds, it has to do with federal government bond or a corporate bond, it has to do with stocks also. So instead of you buying, for example, now, instead of you buying UBA as an example, or buy an Apple shares, you can decide to buy many stocks or many investments in one basket. Whenever I have one-on-one session with my clients, one of the examples that I use for them is small shops. I know that you know small shops, right? Inside these small shops, you will have pop-off, you have meat, you have a lot. Instead of you buying one pop-off, you can decide to buy a lot of investment. That's how ETF works. So there are many ETFs out there, but I'll pick the best four for you in this video that pay you monthly dividends. It's good to work and earn salary, but your money can actually work for you. So don't let me waste most of your time. The number one on our list is JP Morgan Equity ETFs. Do you actually know that JP Morgan, the market capitalization is around 861 billion US dollars? Not in naira, US dollars. Like literally, these guys are holding wealth that can sustain the whole world, actually, because there are over 8.2 billion people in the world. So they have this money they are managing. So they have people's money, they have people's trust, and they have been in existence for many years, right? So it is called JP Morgan Equity ETFs. I'm going to be explaining everything for you. So you need to watch this video from the beginning to the end. And also don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you are not done so. Okay, so what is JP Morgan Equity ETF invested into? Actually, they invest into equities, big US market cap, big companies in the US. Those are the things they invest into, like Seven Magnificent. Okay, we have Apple. They invest into Apple. They also invest into Meta, which is the owner of Facebook, right? Facebook, Instagram, right? WhatsApp. Okay. So one thing you need to realize, okay, most of the products you are using, there is a way you can invest into them. Okay. So it's not just for you to be using WhatsApp alone, using Instagram. Some of us spend hours on this app, but you can actually invest into them. And how do you invest? You invest into JP Morgan equity shares. Okay. Remember, I told you that it's a exchange traded fund. ETFs is exchange traded fund. So instead of you buying individual stock, right? You decided to buy many stock in one basket. I believe you understand now. So they invest into MasterCard, right? Most of us are using MasterCard. All these company products, most of us use it, right? So they don't just invest into companies. They make sure that they invest into companies with big capitalization. So what does that mean? Big cap means this company have proved themselves over time. Some of these companies have been in existence for 20 years, for 30 years, right? So what they do is to pick these big companies that stand the test of time and put investors' money into it. Okay, so individuals, everybody all over the world, you can invest into this. Okay, so let me give you an example. Let's say you have $1,000 to invest. Okay, $1,000, right? And somebody is in China who also have $1,000, right? So what they do is that everybody bring the money. This company, they are called asset managers, asset managers, okay, or investment bankers, investment bankers. They are licensed to collect individuals' funds and invest it on their behalf. Okay, so your money is safe. All this money is not just one person's money, it's individuals' money. This 860 billion US dollar that is here is a lot of money, right? So it's individual money. What they do is to use those money and invest into all these good companies, right? And whatever they earn from the investment, they now decided to pay investors. I believe you understand what I'm saying now. So to pay investors every month. Isn't that amazing? And do you know that their yield is around 8%? Their yield is around 8% annually. So you divide that. If you divide 8% by 12, because every month they pay every month. So if you divide that by 12, that will give you about 6.7%. You see it here? 6.7%. So the good part is that you can actually invest. If you're a Nigerian, you can invest into all these ETF through the app that I use is Optimum. Okay, Optimum by Afrinvest. Optimum guys need to pay me for this ad, right? Optimum by Afrivest. If you use it, you're going to have access to this. You can also use Bamboo. Okay. You can also use Bamboo Hub. I believe that many of you here already know about Bamboo. So you can use Bamboo to invest into that. Just type the JP Morgan equity. It's going to bring it out. Then you can buy. You can buy as little as $10. It depends. Okay. So one thing you don't realize is that most of your banks invest into all these ETFs. Okay. Remember, in a year, they are meant to give you between 3 to 4% per annum. You can Google what I'm saying. So in a year, they are meant to give you just, let's say, 3%, right? Let's say 3%, right? And per annum, remember, this JP Morgan equity share is 8%. So they're going to give you 3% and keep how much? 5%. Most of our banks invest into all these equities. Okay, so that is number one. So now let's get to number two. So if I've told you, if you want to invest into this JP Morgan equity, you can use Optimum, you can use Bamboo, you can use Stanbic IBTC, you can just put it on the search bar. You're gonna see them. You invest, right? And every month they're gonna pay you dividends. Okay, so if you have like maybe $2,000, $1,000, $500, you can invest, right? So just divide that 8% of $1,000. Divide it by 12. Okay, if you divide it by 12, you're going to get 0.67%. Just calculate it. That's how much you're going to be getting every month, every single month. If you're loving this video already, do well to subscribe to the YouTube channel immediately. Thank you so much for doing that. All right, so let's go to number two. We have four, and this is number one. So watch this video till the end. We have number two to go. Okay, so the number two on our list right now is JP Morgan NASDAQ. JP Morgan NASDAQ. This company, remember that the first one invests into big cap companies, things that are doing really well, right? This one now, this JP Morgan NASDAQ, they focus only on tech giants, okay, like Nvidia, like Amazon, all right? So like Microsoft. If you check this company, you will realize that they are very good companies with big capitalizations. I said Nvidia is around 5 trillion right now. 5 trillion. 5 trillion US dollars. Nvidia is around 5 trillion in market cap. All right? In the market cap. Right? So what they do is to select the best. Remember, I told you the best. What they do is to select the best and invest. Okay? And good part about it is that this yield is 10% per annum. So what you're going to do is to divide 10% by 12, right? So you can invest your 1K, your 2K, right? So instead of you keeping your money in the bank dormant, you can decide to invest into this, and they pay you every month. They pay you every single month. You're going to get paid every single month, right? So you can invest into this, right? So these companies, what do they invest? They invest into giant companies like Amazon's, like Nvidia. So you can decide to buy all these individual stock. Actually, you can decide to buy Amazon, you can decide to buy Microsoft, you can decide to buy Nvidia, right? But you are at risk, right? So if you are somebody that is risk conservative, you are very conservative about risk, you can decide to invest into ETFs instead of doing individual stock. So let me give you an example, right? So let's say you bought S&P 500, right? So let's say you bought S&P 500, right? Which has done about 23% this year. Last year it did about 20, I think 26%. Okay. And your friend decided to buy BlackBerry stocks, let's say 15 years ago. Remember, BlackBerry was everywhere and it was trending. So, as somebody that invested into BlackBerry, where would their money be right now? It's gone. You understand, their money is gone. But if you invest into S&P 500, by now you could have with compound interest, your investment could have been around 100%, let's say 10 years ago, 100 to 120%, compounding it, compounding it, 20%, 20, or let's just say 10%, right? Even though your friend decided to invest into individual stock, which is BlackBerry stock, and BlackBerry is nowhere to be found right now, right? The person has lost money. So most time to preserve your investment, you can decide to invest into ETFs, right? So most of these companies, they don't just pick company randomly. They look for companies that have a very large customer base. Like let's use Apple as an example. Their big community. If they invest, even if they produce iPhone 17, iPhone 100 tomorrow, they have customer base that are going to buy those products, right? So those are the things that they invest into. They don't just invest randomly. So if you want to invest, like I said, with all these ETFs, like I said, you use Optimum, you use Bamboo, so you can use any one of them. But to me personally, I use Optimum because their fee. One of the things you need to also consider is not just about the investment. You need to consider the fee. The fee is, is very favorable when I have to do with Optimum. Like I said, Optimum need to pay me for this, right? So that's it. Now let's go to the number three of ETFs you can invest that pay you every month, every single month. Okay. So the next on our list right now is Global S NASDAQ. Remember that we've talked about JP Morgan NASDAQ. We've talked about JP Morgan Equity. The next one is Global S NASDAQ. These ETFs, okay, this ETF, S period fund, remember, ETFs is they focus mainly on 100 big market cap companies, and their annual yield is 12%. So what you're going to do is to divide 12% by 12. So whatever you get. And the share price right now is $17 per share. $17 per share. So with your $1,000, you can have a lot of shares, right? Just on the 100 big market capitalization companies. Only 100. Only 100. And there's something I love about Global S NASDAQ is that every month what they do is to look for the stock that perform very well and sell part of their profits. So let's say they pick the 100 stock, and out of those 100 stock, let's say 70 did very well in a month. Okay, let's say 70 did really well in a month. What they're going to do is they can decide to take 10% from each stocks, 10%, right? Which is about 700%, right? Remember, it is being managed by uh investment managers. Okay, so this is how they pay their investors. What they do is to take profit. They normally take profit. They are not the kind of investors that invest for a long time, because they have investors to pay. Okay, they have people to pay. Remember, they are going to pay you every single month. So what they do is to take profit. That's the reason I love Global S NASDAQ. They take profit from the stocks. Sometimes it could be 50 from the stock, that did very well. Sometimes it could be 40. So that's why sometimes your yield, even on this investment, your yield can actually increase or go up. Sometimes they can pay you, let's just say they can pay you 90 cents, right? Sometimes they can decide to pay you 87. They can also pay 50, right? But the thing is, every month you get your payment. What most of the billionaires and millionaires do is to invest, right? Big money, because the higher the investment, the higher the return. So what they do is you just see them going on holidays. I have big clients also that invest into all this. You just see them going on holiday and you'll be wondering, what are these people doing? These are the things they do, right? Remember, 10% of $1 billion is better than 100% of $1,000. You need to hear that again. 10% of $1 billion is better than 100% of $1,000, right? So what they do is to put more money. The more money you put, the more return. You understand? So you know that they have to pay you, right, every month. So what they do is to pick the stock that really perform very well and take profit and pay you, right? So you are just in your house, you get paid dividends, right? So if you use Optimum, most time when I use them, like they just send me mail, your dividend will be paid, right? So you just keep compounding them. And in a very smarter way, you can do this is most time you can decide to get your dividends and convert it to naira and invest it to Nigerian stock market, right? It's called diversification. So if you need more knowledge on all these things, you can decide to book a one-on-one session with me. The link to the one-on-one session with me where I will explain everything. There are many ETFs you can actually invest into, and the one I'm buying, I'm going to be sharing with you step by step. So if you are interested in that, please do well to click the link in the description or the comment section. Okay, so we're getting to the number 4 ETFs you can invest into that pay you every single month. How to be profitable, how to make money from US stocks and Nigerian stocks. So if this is what you really want, you need to subscribe right now. Thank you. So we are going to the number 4 ETF you can invest that can pay you every single month. So right now we are going to the number 4, which is Global S Super Dividends ETFs. I love this so much. The reason why I love it is that they diversify your investment into 100 best global companies, not just in US alone. They invest in Europe stocks, they invest into UK stocks, they invest into Australian stocks, they invest into very good companies. They just pick 100 out of the best companies in the world and they invest. And one thing I love about this global air super dividends is that their yield is very good actually, and their yield is around 9.7% per annum. So you do that 9.7 divided by 12, whatever you get, that's gonna be how much you're gonna be paid every single month. I love it so much. But the truth of the matter is that most time there could be risk because some stocks can be doing really bad, whether in Europe or in the UK. Why? So those are the risks. Okay. So these are the best ETFs that you can invest into from the US and they pay you dividends every single month. So I love this very well actually. They invest into stocks in China, they invest into many other, and they pay you your dividends, which is about around 9.7% per annum. If you are enjoying this video already and you have not subscribed, please do to subscribe, because on this channel, in fact, I have a lot of videos already on my YouTube channel that teaches you how to invest in stock market, Nigerian stock, a lot of videos. So what you want to do right now after this video is to watch them and implement them. And I'm also using this medium to invite you to our stock market masterclass community. Inside this community, you will learn how to invest into Nigerian stock, how to invest into US stock, how to pick good fundamental stock. A lot of people are saying, right now that Nigerian stock is going down because of Donald Trump threat and all that. Guys, this is the best time to buy stock actually. But the truth of the matter is that when you don't know what you are doing, you are just following random advice online, you're going to be losing money actually. There are about 5 stocks that we are buying right now inside our community. And funny enough, many people are not buying those stocks, and we are buying those stocks for next year. So by January, many people will be buying those stocks, but right now we are buying it at the bottom. How to make money? Let me show you how to make money from the stock market. So just look at my charts. Okay, so sometimes stock goes up and down. Okay, it must dive, it goes up and down. Most people, or many of you, this is where you buy. Some people, this is where the smart people buy from here, As you can see, smart people buy from here and they roll it over and they sell it around this region. Those are smart. And most people buy from here, which is still very good. Many people are buying overpriced stock. Why? Because they buy it when everybody is talking about it. The best time to buy a stock is when there is silence. The best time to buy a stock is when there is silence in the market. Once a stock, once people begin to talk about a stock, right? Just know that a lot of smart investors are already taking profit. And I'm going to give you an example, right? I allotted my community last year to buy MTN. MTN was trading for 170 naira. People were dumping it because they were having financial issues. Today, MTN is trading around 500 naira, 540 something naira, right? So let's say this is MTN chart, right? This is where I allotted my community to buy. That's why you need to join our community, our stock market masterclass community. So the link to join that community right now is on the description and also on the comment section. Once you open the comment section, that's the first thing you are going to see. Okay. So when I allotted my guys to buy MTN around this region, this is the best time. To me, we're not buying it right now in our community because it's already at the top. So we are just looking for stocks that are at the bottom that has the opportunity to go uptrend. Okay, that's how to be profitable from the Nigerian stock market. All this, just dumping around, gambling with your money here and there. That is not the best way. So if you want to join our community, you know what to do. So click the link to join our community. And I believe that this video have really, really, really inspired you. So all the ETFs that I've mentioned, JP Morgan's, Global S Dividends, all this, you can get it from Optimum by Afrivest. You can also get it from Bamboo, right? So most of the brokers in Nigeria, if you put it there, you might not see those ETFs actually. You might not see them, right? So those are the apps or application that I recommend for you. So thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and join our stock market masterclass where I'll be holding your hand and show you step by step on how to profitable from the Nigerian and the US stock market. Until the next time, there's a video popping up right now on the screen. Click on any one of them and sit down and learn. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.